Perseverance. Perseverance is not about clenching your jaw and enduring anything. And it is definitely not about betraying yourself just because someone else did. When betrayal happens and chaos hits, the real test isn't whether you can survive it. It's whether you can stay aligned inside it. Let's tell the truth. Betrayal shakes identity. Chaos exposes instability. And for marginalized leaders, it often confirms what you already suspected about the system. This is where most people overfunction or disappear. You don't do either. You elevate. Liberation. Liberation do not add self-betrayal to the injury. When trust breaks, the instinct is to question yourself. Did I miss something? Was I too much? Should I have stayed quiet? Stop. Liberation means you refuse to gaslight yourself. You release imposter narratives and perfectionism that quietly siphons your power. Perseverance at this level is simple and hard. You feel the anger without letting it run you. You grieve without collapsing. You set boundaries without over-explaining. You choose clarity over compliance, boundaries over burnout, authority over approval. That's internal elevation under pressure. Visibility. When the narrative gets messy, get precise. Betrayal often comes with distortion. Credit disappears. Stories get rewritten. Motives get questioned. This is not the moment to shrink. Visibility is not performance. It is positioning. Excellence that remains invisible is lost. Perseverance here means you document. You name outcomes clearly. You speak with intention, not emotions leaking everywhere. You don't defend your existence. You articulate your impact. Calm, clean, strategic. Transformation. Let the chaos teach you where the system is weak. Chaos is data. It reveals power flows, fault lines, and informal rules that were always there. Transformation is where personal hurt becomes systemic clarity. So instead of asking, how do I survive this? Ask, what pattern just exposed itself? What norm needs to shift? Who else has experienced this in silence? You build alliances. You intervene strategically. You redistribute power instead of hoarding it for safety. That's how you change the mountain, not just your altitude. Here's the bottom line. Perseverance without discernment leads to sacrifice. Perseverance without healing leads to hardness. Perseverance without strategy leads to burnout. But perseverance rooted in internal freedom, strategic visibility, and collective impact, that builds leaders. Betrayal cannot break, and chaos cannot redefine. You don't rise because things were easy. You rise because you stayed aligned when it would have been easier to abandon yourself. That's the standard.